Welcome to Episode 2 of the Kentucky Bias Podcast, Feast Week edition, Thanksgiving edition. We're recording this on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. How are you boys feeling? We got to intro a little better this time. We got to lock in.
Feeling great,
Feeling good?
sir. Yes, we are.
I'm
Feeling
awesome.
pretty good. I've been proud of the cast. Makes me feel good. So I'm doing pretty good.
Really impressed yesterday, personally, or day before yesterday, whenever the game was. I've lost track of time, but yeah, I thought we looked great
Uh,
for like a struggle game. That's a great struggle game. Taryn,
I think
how are
it's good
you
to have a
doing?
struggle game every now and then. It just can't be every game. You
It
learn
wakes
way
you
more
up.
about your team.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to look at what to put on.
it keeps you on your feet.
Yeah.
I think we kind of needed one like that before Clemson.
Yeah, it's nice to
WKU,
blow everybody out, but you don't learn anything just blowing people out left and right.
no. I thought
So,
WKU came in with a good game plan, fouled the hell out
yeah.
of us. It worked. I mean, they came about as close as anybody else has this year, so I'm proud of them. They
I
ran. I think it's
mean,
the first.
a big thing
Yeah,
about our team is like we feed off momentum, and if you're just fouling us every play down the court, it's really hard to build momentum no matter who you are. So I feel
yeah.
like that was pretty good on their part.
And they I don't think anybody's pushed a tempo like that against us this year. I really don't think we've seen
No, they
that.
were number one in tempo last year, and everybody's gone from that team, but I think they're still top 10 in Ken Palm tempo right now. So,
That's crazy. I mean, they were doing it efficiently too. They were getting up and down the court.
mhm.
Uh, I think we learned a lot from that game.
Yeah,
I
for
don't.
sure.
We can go over specific takeaways here in a minute, but I just think overall came in. They gave us. I don't think we were ever in danger of losing, but I think they
Nah.
definitely kept us awake at certain points in that game. Because I think they got it down to 7 at one point, maybe 9. But I thought we looked great. Shooting was just not on. Happens. Uh, I would like to hear what you guys think about this. We can go down the line like we usually do.
Um, I don't know if it's worry, but like sometimes seeing Amari Williams take those hook shots, I pause a little bit. Like I don't want him to go. You can't have him go 1 for 5 against. I think
Right.
that's what he was against the better teams, and I think he'll probably take smarter shots uh, when the game when we're playing a better team. But that's something to me maybe monitor a little bit. Just make sure he's taking the right shots.
Yeah, he's so capable of getting down and under. He just didn't really fight down there like he usually does last game. I'm sure. I mean, everyone has a night like that, but yeah, the hook shots are quite infuriating to watch. Uh, I
Yeah.
don't know why he started taking those, but uh, I'm sure Pope will
That's
straighten it
partly
out.
why his shot field goal percentage was kind of low at Drexel. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he took a lot of those at Drexel too,
Hmm.
but he made them a lot more. Granted, against usually way worse teams. So
Yeah. Taryn, how are you feeling about the game against Western Kentucky?
I'm not sure. I was at Moana too the
Okay,
football
that's
park, and then I was driving
that's
home.
that's a very valid reason. All right, we'll ask you about Moana 2 instead. How was Moana 2?
Oh, it was great. I liked it better than the first one.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good.
I mean, it's not like I loved it or anything, but like, uh,
Serviceable.
it was a good movie. Yeah, it was solid. No
All right.
spoilers. I can't say much.
Yeah, no, we can't speak too loud. It'll get us. The Hollywood will get us. Trip, how do you feel about Moana? I mean, the Western Kentucky game.
I thought overall we played solid for it being like a sluggish game. You're gonna have those games no matter who you are. But to build off what Hoop said, I feel like our offense is really in its worst when Amari Williams gets the ball in the post. I
Yeah.
mean, he just doesn't have the touch, I feel like right now, to be taking those kind of shots. But when he does get that, I don't know how, I mean, we can score in every way if he can get the touch, but for now, I think he just needs to find somebody and kick it out.
The drive really just stagnates every time he gets into that post and then he sets up for the hook shot. I mean, you know what's coming. Everyone knows it's coming. He doesn't really pass out of that spot a lot that I've noticed. I think if he could open that up feel free to keep going to that spot. But if you're just gonna relentlessly miss the hook shots, we got to figure something else out.
I would like to use him the way we used Oscar Shibwe his first year, where he was just kind of cleanup. I mean, obviously
Mhm.
Oscar ended up being more of the go-to guy when everybody got injured that year.
Yeah,
But when Oscar was at his best, he was a cleanup guy, and I think that's what Amari would be best at because he's a beast on the offensive glass,
it,
and rebounding in general. I
he
think
has a
that would
good
suit him
putback.
best.
Yeah, I mean his putback game is serviceable. It's good.
I
Uh,
just I don't think that you can have your center being your main go-to guy in the modern college basketball era. Because I mean, in 2022, 2023 season, we had Oscar Tshiebwe, like Hoop says, our main guy, and that is when Calipari's offense was at its worst in his era. I feel like you have to have 3-point shooters to be able to kick it out. I mean, not that Pope doesn't bring that; he obviously does, but I'm
yeah,
just saying
I
that I don't want Amari being the main go-to guy.
I think nowadays I think it's really preferred to have a good forward over a dominating center. Just because I mean you see a lot of forwards today that can play the five too, and
Are
it works well. I I just I think we'll get what we need out of Amari, but I think he's definitely showing the most growing pains right now in the new system.
would you rather bench Amari for Carr at the five?
I've seen some people say this, and I think if it gets to that point where he is just taking absolute horrid shots, we might have to look at lineups with that. But I think right now that could be a light overreaction. Though I think Carr would be good at the five, ideally. I think with the way he's shown his physicality this year, I think he could definitely float at the five instead of Sink.
Carr at
Yeah,
the
to
five
me,
would
it
mean
feels. You go
go
ahead,
ahead.
hoops. No, you got it.
Okay. I was just gonna say Carr at the five would mean you probably got five shooters on the floor at every moment when he's on, unless it's like say Lamont Butler at the point. But he's been
Yeah,
serviceable this year,
I thought he's
so
been.
that would be
I've
a
been
lethal lineup.
I've been shocked with one his shot selection and where he's taking these, and two, I mean he's making them. I mean it's not a great clip, but it's not a bad clip either. And
Yeah, it's
uh,
serviceable, and that's all you need for Lamont.
especially from him. I mean anything above 38% is perfectly fine by me. And I'm sure he's pretty north of around that.
He
I'm sure
was
he's north.
44 before yesterday's game. I forget how many he took and made yesterday, though.
Yeah. So I mean, keep it north of 40, and I mean, he becomes
Yeah.
an offensive threat, and it really just adds a lot of layers to our offense and transition game. I mean, having anyone on the court who can just pull from anywhere on the court is obviously going to kill teams in transition. And I'm just really liking the tempo. I'm really liking the pace. It's a lot more fun to watch this year than last couple of years we had with Cal. And I mean, you've seen it with Arkansas games this year. I think they're a great team. I think they're a good school, but it's slow. It's not the most well put together offense. It's not
No,
flowing
they
the
only
best.
score in transition. Like their half court offense is, I don't
Yeah,
want to sound like a hater, but their half court offense has been miserable. Every
it has
time
been.
if they can't get in transition, they have a hard time scoring. And that's not it. That's not
Yeah,
with hate. I'm not like it's just they can't put the ball in the basket if they're not in transition.
I've been
So
pretty. You go Trip or go Taryn.
What do you think we would have put up on Maryland Eastern Shore then?
Oh,
goodness.
130. 130 and a half probably. I mean, we would have broken a record, I think. Especially with I mean they for how bad they are, they even played bad that night too. It
I mean, what's the
Arkansas
rep record? 127 in rep.
118. Oh, 127, yeah.
I think that's the Cal record, but yeah, I think
Cal is pretty good.
127 would have definitely been broken.
They scheduled some grade A bottom dwellers this year, but I mean Pacific too. We also played Jackson State to be fair, but yeah, I think they'll be fine though. It's just I don't know if Cal really has the roster he wants there yet, like fleshed out the way he wants it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I just preseason I didn't like the shooting on the team. I still don't. They're shooting like 30 some or I think it's close to 36, 37% from three right now, but look at the competition outside of Baylor. And
Yeah, and even
you'll
Baylor. I
see why.
mean, let's be honest about Baylor right now. I mean, we're learning a lot about them,
Oh yeah,
and I don't know. I think they'll be fine though. It's just
I do.
they're
They'll
building
still be a
a.
tournament team. So
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
I think it's interesting about next year because they lost out on Sinak. They're fingers crossed they're gonna lose out on Wilson. He's gonna have to reach on more freshmen or be older than he wants to be next year.
Yeah, I
Knox probably is gonna have to return. He's got Knox from Richmond back. Maybe
yeah,
unless
Jalen.
Richmond will be comeback.
unless Knox wants to go be like a an office job somewhere. I don't know if he's leaving. I just don't see him getting drafted or signed at all with how he's played this year. I mean, I didn't really see him on that many big boards before the season started. I don't think he was particularly a draft prospect. I could be wrong, but I wasn't seeing a lot of draft buzz from Carter
He had a
initially,
good game
anyways.
against UMass, but that's like the worst D1, one of the worst ever. He had
Yeah.
like 21 points,
Oh, I think I got 26, but something around that.
something like there, something like that.
Because I
Yeah.
saw a post about it, but
Okay.
he, I think he's also one that if he turns it up, Arkansas will unlock a new level. But I don't think I've seen that right now. John L. Davis has not been the greatest basketball player ever. I think you could say the same about Jackson Robinson, though. I think it's two different situations in two different ways that it's affecting the team. But uh, I I just was not expecting that from those two this year. I was really thinking. I was thinking the big three would be John L. Davis, Chaz Lanier, and
Yeah.
Jackson Robinson. But other than Lanier, I mean, haven't really seen much.
Yeah. It's been bad.
But I think Jackson and John L. will put it right where it needs to be by conference play.
Yeah, John L's been hurt. I don't. This isn't his
Wrist
best.
injury, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I think he broke his wrist in the preseason. So that's obviously going to affect him. I think he'll pick
yeah.
it up at least by conference play, like at some point. And if he doesn't, then I mean they're in trouble.
They're in deep. Yeah, they're in deep trouble. But because I mean, we haven't really needed Jackson to be the guy this year, even though a lot of people thought he was going to be. We've done just fine without him not, and I think that's why a lot of people aren't really on his head right now. But I mean, I would like to see him get involved more on the offensive end, defensive, good effort, making good plays, smart, but he's got to be more assertive. I
I
think
agree
same with Amari. They got to just stick to their game and do what they do best.
for sure.
We should have gotten Danny Wolf,
He's at
and we
Michigan,
should have went
right?
harder for Jeremiah Fears.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Not like we still have what, three scholarships?
Well, it's up to 15 this year, and yeah, I guess we would have three left because we have I think what 12 on scholarship.
we run what? How many deep? Nine, 10
Yeah,
I'd
nine.
I'd say
Nine.
nine for
better
and
games.
maybe 10 if you count Colin Chandler. He
Yeah,
played a little bit in that Duke game.
I thought he had some good run
Yeah.
yesterday too.
Hmm.
He got some good burn, but I like his effort a lot. I just like Colin's demeanor and the way he plays. I can just see him being very good, maybe 2, 3 years, just being an extremely talented guard.
I think we could start him maybe next year.
I'm thinking
Depends
the
who we
same.
get.
Mm. We'll
We
see
could
how this
start him in
growth
like a
goes
three
this
guard
year.
lineup or something.
I mean, he can do a little bit of everything, really. Those are always the guys that have. I mean, I just call them Taysom Hill like guys.
Hmm.
Utility, come in, do what he needs to do, and win games.
Sure.
If he's starting next year, that'll speak a lot to Pope's development.
Yes, especially after what 2 years of not playing basketball professionally at all. I mean, that would be insane. I think his performance already has been very shocking to me. With just like I haven't seen a lot of rust. He looks very comfortable. He just kind of fits right in, and I'm really proud of that because he was definitely a question mark for me before the year. Strip, what you think about the Colin Chandler man, our favorite Mormon besides Mark Pope?
Um, I think he's done pretty solid. I mean, like you say, he's been on that mission trip for 2 years. So I think other than that, I mean, because of that, he's done well.
Mm,
But um, I would like for him to get. I would like for him to shoot a little better. I don't know what his percentage is. I feel like he misses more. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Give me
I
just
think
a
he's
second.
doing pretty well from three.
I like the
Could be
shots he
wrong.
takes a lot. He knows his role. I
Yeah.
think it really helps.
Okay. Yeah. He's shooting 42% from the field and 30% from three. So no, that's not awful.
Not
Um,
bad at all. That's serviceable for an off the bench piece.
yeah.
Uh, so I don't remember much from the Jackson State game, if I'm being 100 with everybody in here. So I think Hoops could probably lead us into that because I can't recall much about that one because that was what the day after we recorded the podcast the last time.
Yeah. Uh, I think I remember I mean, obviously they're one of the worst teams in D1. Um, at least right now. I think they did pretty well in their conference last year. But they were like 9-22, but they were still like 10-8 in the SWAC. So, because they got to go on
Yeah,
the road every single game in the non-conference to make any money for their program.
right.
But from that game, like I don't really remember much either. It was just kind of a throwaway game in a sense because we pretty much dominated tap to buzzer.
Hmm.
I know Jackson Robinson went off. I would like to see him do that in big games, though.
Yeah, someone with a pulse. I mean, you could say the same about John L, I guess, when he's going off. It
Mhm.
you see where like the foundation is, right? They can easily do it. I just think they need to do it once or twice against a quality opponent where they really settle in.
Sure.
Strip, what you got next for the subjects?
Um, who do you guys think the MVP is so far of this season? 6 games in.
I got Andrew Carr.
Andrew Carr.
Yeah.
I'd s-
Taryn, what about you?
Go ahead.
Otega Owe.
Otego away, yeah. That's a good one too.
I was going to say Owe as well. So either him or Carr. Those are the only two answers, probably.
Carr has
I
been the
also
big
have
bucket machine.
Yeah, I also have Owe. I just really like the way he can get to the basket, and I feel like he can like cause havoc on defense. He's averaging over 16 points a game. I don't think he's going to be here after this year because with
Ah,
how well he's done, but yeah, I think he's the best so far.
I think he'll be a top three shooting guard in the SEC once we get around to it. But because I mean, I've just been watching him compared to like I don't know someone like Wade Taylor, and Owe has just been he's doing what he needs to do, and he's doing it at such a high efficiency that it really just speaks volumes to his talent and his ability. I think because I was not expecting that personally from him when he transferred in from Oklahoma. I was not expecting this. He has been, I think, the guy, Baby Carr, but yeah, I think he has been the biggest surprise of the year for me because he was good last year. I mean, he started off great, I believe, last season, but then he
Yeah,
kind of
he's struggled in Big 12 play really badly.
yeah. So I think well, obviously, we want to see how he does with the conference play, but I'm loving what I'm seeing. He just wants to get to the rim. I mean, he refuses to go anywhere else but the rim, and it really for this team that's huge. It's huge to have somebody like that, and he's just pure slasher by the books. He will do what he wants to do, no matter how many people are in that paint. He will get a shot off, and he will make it a good look. Uh,
He doesn't miss many
obviously,
layups.
no,
I know that's like it's kind of overlooked, but like being able to finish is huge
that's a I
for a lot
mean
of
big part of
players.
modern basketball. Yeah,
Hmm.
you can't score, you can't finish your own rebounds. You're not going to win,
Hmm.
and uh, I think he's followed a lot of his own shots too. A lot of
Yeah.
our players do. Uh, I think that's one of the hugest things. I mean, you'll see three or four guys in under the basket when we shoot a shot, just vying for the rebounds. Are we the best rebounding team? Absolutely not. But we do show great effort, and
Hey,
I think
leading the
that's
country in defensive rebounds right now per game.
yeah. I just think once that size starts getting to like we start playing against
Oh
some
yeah.
big guys,
Mhm.
Amari might have a little bit of a learning curve.
I agree.
Garrison, though, I think Garrison is just a purebred glass cleaner, and I think he will end up being that guy that you kind of described earlier with Sheboy. I think Garrison has a lot of potential to be that guy.
I
I
don't
just
think
like
he's quite
Garrison's
as
game a lot.
physical as Oscar, but man, like he's a great passing big. He does all the fundamentals very
I
well. He's a little
just
slow, but he makes up for it like pretty much every other way.
he doesn't run from contact. He'll get down and dirty with somebody if he has to. Uh,
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he got the shoe thrown at him.
yeah, like that was awesome. I'm still wondering why that happened and why nobody talked about it, but it's okay.
I think
Uh,
I think it was the thing where the Jackson State player was trying to knock the ball out of his hands.
I respect the attempts. Good effort.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Thinking on the fly. Can't hold him.
Exactly.
Terry, how do you feel about Ortega this year? Just like overall, what are you liking?
I just want to change the subject for a second. Um, I'm looking at this, and Butler and Bray are both taking more shots than Robinson and Carr. Like,
Hmm.
do you guys think that'll be like if that's an effect to game planning, or Butler or Bray pulling the trigger too soon? Like,
Uh,
do we need to put more effort into getting those two involved?
I think Butler gets a lot of his shot attempts from steals leading to layups. He also takes a
yeah.
lot of those like he makes a good amount, but those turnarounds in the mid post.
Hmm.
Um, Rob Jackson, he doesn't look for his shot very much sometimes. He like completely disappears on offense. Um,
That's what
I
I
don't know
was
if
kind
that's
of
sustainable.
I was getting to like I think for Carr, I wish we would try to get him involved a little bit more offensively because when we do, we see the results. But I think Jackson, I think he's almost passing up shots. He's almost passing up these looks. And I mean, I think he's getting the basket. Uh, but the confidence is not there right now.
I just lied. I just completely made up those stats. But
False information. We do that all the time
Robinson
here.
is second, but Carr is not in the top five.
That's weird to me
That is surprising.
because I feel like
He has had some games where it's like he didn't do
not
anything.
quite. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, we went to him a bunch against Duke, and I'm sure that'll be the same sentiment when we're playing other great teams. But I don't know. He's definitely had a couple little slower nights, but I think overall, he takes a good amount, and he will. I think what's his percentage right now shooting?
It's pretty good.
Got to be
Yeah,
right.
I think he was 37% from three after last night, and then he's really efficient from two, so it's probably really good.
Yeah.
He's shooting 63% from the field and 37.5 from three.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. That's really good.
That
yeah.
is,
I was
yeah.
thinking earlier if there's anyone that can go against, or at least try in some way to match up with Cardwell and Broom, it's those two, Williams and Carr.
Yeah, the try is the big. Man, those guys. Oh,
Broom is a
Au-
beast.
Auburn is something else this year, man. I am terrified. I am. I'm not gonna lie.
Do we play them in Rupp and there
Yep.
or just at Rupp?
Rupp, just Rupp.
Oh, that's gonna
Okay.
be a
Well,
massive game.
they haven't won there since the '80s, so I mean, hopefully we can keep
Oh
the
gosh,
streak going.
yeah.
Yeah, they haven't beat us since '88 in Rupp.
Wow. Wow. I did not know that.
I think it's like close to 20 straight losses or something insane. So
Gosh, bro.
probably more than that.
Cal probably would have lost to this team. I mean, like, whatever. But
Yeah.
Pope does win this, so that's like another big flex on college basketball.
Oh
Oh
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, imagine the world where we take Duke, Gonzaga, and Auburn.
Nah.
We are the consensus one. Like we are the team to beat. And
Auburn's not till like early March though.
yeah, that's like one of the last
Oh,
games.
maybe
I
we can
think it's
get
like third to
basketball
last
on.
game.
That will be one of the best games of the year, if not
Oh
the.
yeah. They've already got three top 12 wins in their 6 games into their season.
That's insane, man. That's just like some EA college football scheduling stuff
Right?
right there with how they've been playing, like the teams they've been playing. Because what tournament are they
And
in?
they were in the Maui, and they
Okay,
just manhandled Memphis, who they're going to be ranked after the next poll comes out.
very
So
deservedly. Yeah,
that's basically four ranked wins in 6 games for Auburn. Like that's
Whew.
crazy. Yeah, they're a
Kind of.
handful. Broom, like he's effortlessly, he gets a double double every game.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Okay, women's team is up by 23.
Oh,
Wow,
I'm gonna get
Illinois is ranked,
get
right?
yes.
yeah. They were
We were favored.
favored.
Yes, we were favored to lose by 6. I'm gonna get ready to post that. You guys keep yapping.
70, yeah, wow,
That's gonna
76,
be on
53.
ESPN, those ESPNW accounts.
Oh yeah, all those
Yeah, it just
college.
went final.
Yep, I'm getting on that shit right now.
Wow.
uh,
just a
76.
warning. We only have 5 minutes left in this game.
oh, we got it.
Yeah.
And then we could
How
pair
about
it with the
Kenny
next recording.
Brooks? Man,
Sheesh.
He is quite the coach. All
him and
right.
Pope,
Track and
they're off
key,
to a
baby.
Still,
12 and 0 combined start.
I mean, I made that 6-0 combined or whatever post. I could still make that post again. I mean, it's been that good.
This has got to be like one
Wow.
of the best
This was
coaching
a
turnarounds.
4-point game,
Really?
20 seconds into the fourth quarter.
I mean, our girls are tough with like resiliency because I mean Purdue Fort Wayne came in, gave them a fight, but I mean they managed to snuff that out and still win. And I mean you beat two Power 4 teams in a row. Just dogged Arizona State and Illinois. So we are making a case for the top 10, I think, especially with some of the teams
Oh,
that have been
yeah.
losing.
Number 14,
Um,
you beat the number 19 by 23. Oh, yeah.
23. Jeez. I because the last time I checked it
Outs-
was tied or it was 9. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm getting on that
Outscored
right
him
now.
26-9 in the fourth. That's
It's
crazy.
it's the meme of the dude sitting front and sitting forward in his chair. Gotta be.
Yeah,
Let me lock in real quick. God,
you're good.
I mean I was not honestly not expecting us to win tonight. I thought we were going to cover for sure, but I wasn't expecting a W.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
oh, man, that minus 6.5 would have been free.
Mm.
I hope somebody took that.
Clara Strack had 25 on
Yeah.
67% from the field, 12
She's
of
she's
18.
she's already averaging 21 this year.
Is she a
Wow.
sophomore or a junior?
Sophomore, I think.
Don't you have to
Sophomore.
stay 3 years too in women's?
Yep.
Yes.
37 and 25 from strike and key.
Wow.
Jesus.
No, we don't have Jordan Obi either.
Oh yeah, that's one of our biggest pieces that still haven't even played a minute yet.
Yeah.
Illinois only played 6 players. That's
Ooh.
crazy.
I think the Dominican girl was going to be a nice bench player.
Mm-hmm.
You said only 6 players. Like we only had 6 players.
Yeah, they only played 6 players
I mean,
all
that's
night.
probably what went wrong. That's probably what went wrong in the fourth quarter. And
Yeah,
Oh
probably
yeah,
got
you
tired,
get
left
because
loose.
tired.
we
Oh,
run
yeah.
deep. We run deep. I mean that Louisville game. We played a bunch of different ladies that game. So I mean, because you have that 7-foot freshman on the bench ready to come in and take over behind Streck at any time. Um, she's the Portuguese one, I think. Might be wrong about the nationality, but
It would be hard to
yeah,
top what Cal and Mitchell did in the early 2010s, but
this is a good start.
Pope and Brooks are off to one hell of a start. 12 and 0 combined, 3 ranked wins.
Who gets the first loss?
Yeesh. Gonzaga.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm not
Uh,
totally sold on Gonzaga
Me
after
neither.
today.
WVU
They're
is
not the
not
world
great.
beaters people thought they were.
I
No.
would have rather them won today, to be honest. Like I was fine with it being a close game, but I don't want to have them mad. And also, I think win or lose, it's better for us if they're better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
So
I
I
just
was kind of disappointed to see that.
I have family from there, so it was a pretty cool moment. because they've been struggling in hoops for a very long time now, and even before Huggy got fired, they were not doing great. So I'm kind
Yeah,
of
they
happy
really
to
hadn't
see him.
been all that good for a while.
So what has made Mark Pope so successful so far? I think it's more the little things. Like we can talk about his modern offense that he's brought, but I think it's just the little things. Like like the other day after we beat Duke, we played Lipscomb, and he was like, we weren't even thinking about a hangover win. I think Hoops mentioned that in the last episode. But I just think it's like the way he's talking to the fans. He's not talking down to them. He's treating them like they're people. I just think it's those kind of things that are really standing out to me.
Um, so I think kind of an underrated thing. Tripp kind of touched on it. His humility. Um, he's not arrogant whatsoever, and that makes guys. I think it probably makes them happier to play for him. And that gets the best out of his players. Um, that's one thing I really love about Mark Pope because as much as I kind of defended Cal for a long time, he was never very nice to to the press, or he just sometimes came off as arrogant, and you don't get that with Mark Pope at all, and it's kind of refreshing in that way. Um,
Mhm.
and then it feels nice to run that modern offense because it's just so refreshing to watch, and there's not much to complain about right now with Mark Pope. Loving what I'm seeing so far.
Karen, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking about his maturity as opposed to past coaches. Um, his intelligence, for lack of a better words, his aura, like
Yeah,
his whole stature he's got
how he
going
carries
on.
himself.
Yeah, he's just a businessman with the basketball, and
I just,
it's great. And he's got experienced players that want to be uh, coached and wants to know from him and his staff,
I
which
want to
is
be at
great. He's got
Kentucky.
a great staff.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most underrated parts so far is we have, I think, the best staff in America, well-rounded. I mean, we have a couple future head coaches on this staff right now. But I mean, for what for what I've seen, I mean, I've watched every post-game press conference this year from Pope, and I never watched them from Cal. 'Cause, I mean, it was a lot of the same stuff. Never a lot of insight, just a lot of, well, we got to hit our shots. Well, we got to play better defense. Like, yeah, well, no crap. But I just I think the way Pope talks about basketball is really enlightening, and he definitely notices stuff. Not to say that Cal doesn't, but I think just the way he conveys it is a lot more reliable, almost. Yeah.
Taryn touched on his intelligence. Have you guys seen like some of the quotes that he has come up with? He's came up with like 10 like super crazy, fancy, awesome quotes since he's been here.
He's gonna have some good catchphrases. He's good. Give him a couple years, he's gonna lock in with those catchphrases, man. Swaggy
I
Pope,
love
get ready
I
for
love
it.
when. Sorry, go ahead, Steph.
Oh, I was just making a Swaggy Pope joke. You're good.
Okay, I was just gonna say I love when he chimes in and asks players questions in their post game interviews. And they're always hilarious.
Oh,
Never got that with like previous coaches. Cal wasn't really he hated press, so he dipped the second his conferences were done.
He didn't even
he
do
was
them.
there. Barely, yeah. I
He
mean,
he did post game, but he never did pregame the last at least 5 years. Right.
Wow.
I forgot what a pregame post conference was. And it's been that long, but yeah, it's just really enlightening. And obviously, it's been 6 games. Can't say anything for certain yet, but it's
Mm.
just I feel like Cal, at least the Cal that we had last year, a Cal that wasn't motivated and wasn't in a new environment, he probably would have 2 or 3 losses by now. Just saying, Western Kentucky would have beaten us. We wouldn't have beaten Duke, and I would have probably had a weird feeling about that Jackson State game too. But
Well,
it's just because we. You go ahead.
I'm just thinking about what our lineup would have been.
Not good.
Arkansas's.
Man.
DJ
Yeah.
Boogie, JQ, and Z at least, and that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That is very okay. This is most definitely
Uh,
okay.
I don't know.
I mean, Boogie would have been great, but nobody else would have been.
Maybe JQ with Boogie and DJ would have been better for himself.
It would have been a repeat of last year, except worse. I don't think we would have done as good in the regular season. And I
Uh,
We would
mean,
not have had nearly as good of an offense.
No.
no, it would be like watch. I think it'd be very similar to the 2022-23 season.
Yeah.
I agree.
It
Same, similar roster construction, except we wouldn't have had the National Player of the Year returning.
no.
and we all would have been mad because he went right back to his old ways.
Yep. I mean, he has done nothing different this year, really, except for have a worse roster and not use your scholarships. But
Oh God,
I still don't understand that.
he fed them the NIL thing, and they all think it's great now.
Yeah,
It's like,
food for
yeah.
thought. Food for thought. I did research and I posted it earlier. I think right before the season started on every team's experience. Arkansas fans were clamoring about how Cal's got an older roster now. They're still the fourth youngest in the conference, so
Ugh.
it's not that old.
No, it's not. They're overplaying it for sure. But I think,
I mean,
yeah, they'll be fine.
For a Cal roster, that's definitely old, but not in college
Yeah,
basketball.
for
It's just
sure.
one of the weakest Cal rosters I've ever seen. I mean, there's just the one player that was supposed to be the superstar hasn't been. And if they haven't been playing absolute scrubbers, I feel like their record would reflect their performances a lot more.
Yeah, I always appreciate what he did here, but I
Oh,
just think
yeah.
I think it was stagnant. It was time to move on.
I think he's got one more Final Four run left in him.
Uh, I don't see
I
it.
think it's got to be deep in there somewhere. I don't know,
I was,
but
Anyone can catch lightning in a bottle, so I think it's
Yeah,
possible. But it
he
would take
I
a
just,
lot of luck.
is there
yeah,
anybody that runs that old of an offense that has made it in recent years, though?
that's a great point.
Nate Oates would have won a championship with our roster last year.
If Nate Oates was our coach, he probably would have won 2 or 3. But that's besides the point. Yeah, how would you feel about Bama now that we're on Nate Oates?
I don't know.
I think they're reproving their worth after
Yeah,
that win yesterday.
I was
I was
worried
I was
about them
really
after the
impressed.
Purdue game. I was worried about them after the Purdue game. But I mean, they came out and beat Illinois and Houston, so I think they've really bounced back good. I think they can make another Final Four. I don't know, but yeah, I think they've done good.
Mhm.
Alabama's crazy to me because they were so deep in the preseason that they've had to redshirt a guy who came in averaged 14 a game last year and 40 some percent from three, and then they're redshirting a 5-star. That's how deep they are.
Yeah, I mean Bruce Pearl has so many toys to play with right now, man.
Nate
You
Oates.
had
Reverse Pearl.
oh sorry, I was thinking of Auburn. Uh, yeah, Nate Oates. I don't know, but
You're
they
good.
just run so deep, and Sears will be, I think, SEC Player of the Year.
Sears or Broom, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Broom is
I
a
think
machine.
Lanier can get in there.
Yeah.
I think Lanier he can make that a 3-horse battle, but I just don't see it from Wade Taylor this year. I
Nah,
don't know if
I thought
he's too inefficient. He
he
was at his
is.
best, 3 years ago in 22-23 when they won 15 SEC games.
Yeah.
He hasn't been that good
Do you
since.
think Pope can ever have a player of the year type player because of how balanced everything is?
I think it would take quite the player for someone to
uh,
stand out enough in a Pope
I could see
offense to be Player of
defensive
the
player of
Year.
the year.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought Jackson Robinson, like if he was good enough, he could have been in that run. But I mean, after watching more and more of Pope, like it is just very balanced, and Jackson Robinson hasn't done super great anyways. But yeah, it would take a really good player to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think we call on anybody consistently enough to get a Player of the Year, like especially National Player of the Year. Um, Maybe SEC, but I don't see anything like Naismith or anything of that nature now.
I could see Kobe Brea winning 6-man of the year.
I think he's a lock for it.
he
Yeah.
Pope could have like a point guard that can do that. I don't. Maybe you get a sophomore A Caden that can do that,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure.
He uses so many different sets and he plays a lot of different players that I think it would take a generational talent to get a National Player of the Year in this offense. Not to say that it's impossible or anything, but uh, I wouldn't bank on it. I don't think, but obviously that's not what we're here to do. So I think it's fine. I think we've had our Player of the Years, we've had our first round picks. It's time to actually win big games again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, to the next topic, what do you guys think about Clemson, our game? I mean, we have Georgia State on Friday. I think that'll be another easy win. But moving on to Clemson, what do you guys think will happen there?
Uh, I wouldn't be too shocked if we lose. Um,
I think we'll win. Their only tough game. I mean, they beat all the stinky teams they played as
Yeah.
expected, but their only game against a real team they lost at Boise State by 13, which that's not an easy game, but
oh,
their
they
offense didn't look
13.
good. Yeah, but the person we got to watch out for is Chase Hunter, their guard. He had 30
Hmm.
at Boise State, and he's averaging like 17 a game. So we got to watch out for him. But I think Lamont can take care of him if needed.
I
Yeah.
watched Eastern Kentucky beat them for 3 quarters of the game. I'm I'll believe Clemson can beat us when I see it.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, I'm
if
just.
I just don't understand the overreacting about last night, and now everybody thinks we're gonna lose to Clemson.
I find yesterday as positive personally. I think it was a huge positive to have a game like that and still come out by almost 20 points. I mean,
Clemson
we
won
did.
their Clemson won their MTE. They didn't have any great teams in it, but it was Clemson, San Francisco. So they're not a bad mid-major. Penn
No.
State and one other I forget. But they won that and they're 6-1 right now. It won't be an easy game.
The only
No.
way I see us losing that game is is like how rowdy the crowd is going to be. But with how experienced we are, I don't know if that's going to be much of an issue. But just being like this group's first time together in a road game, I think we could have some maybe like sluggish shooting or something. But other than that, I think we'll be fine.
I would like to see a 12-15, 12 point win.
Yeah. I think it would be a huge point to prove before going into Zaga. We go in there, we control the game, and we take the crowd out of it early, and I think we can easily kind of walk out there
I
without
don't.
with a semi
Have y'all
comfortable win.
watched much Clemson? How
I haven't
rowdy
seen a
do they
game.
get? Like
I know their
like
crowd can get
basketball
pretty good.
I think their crowd will be tough because they're coming off the Elite Eight and this is their first
Ah,
big game at
And
home since then.
it's Kentucky, the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. So yeah,
exactly.
that's a cool jersey matchup though. We're gonna be blue in there.
Oh
And
yeah,
back to
against their
orange.
white. Hmm. I really like Clemson's colors a lot. Cool purple.
I'll drop my
Don't.
prediction for that and then I gotta go, guys.
All right.
okay.
I'll have Kentucky winning, let's say 80. I think it'll end up being kind of close. Say Kentucky 82, Clemson 74.
Okay. Trip.
All right, thanks, guys. Y'all have a great night.
All
Thanks,
right.
Yeah.
See
Thomas.
ya.
Yeah.
See you.
I think that we beat Clemson 84 to 72. That's what I actually wrote down. Taryn said 12-point win. I do have us winning by 12. I think we'll be up by about 5 to 8 points throughout the second half, and then they're going to start fouling us towards the end of the game and stuff. And I just think we'll win like pretty easily.
I got us 87, 70, 87, 77. Combo 10-point win. But I think then that just turns right around into Zaga, and man, we got a lot to prove there. If
Yeah,
we can
90
go
to
it,
78. 90 to 78. I
that.
almost got I was 2 points off of the Jackson State one.
Hmm. How tough? How do you guys know anything about Georgia State?
No.
No, I think they're 3-3. I mean, I think they've just lost to teams that I don't even think they play anybody good. I can look it up real quick if y'all want me to.
Yeah, I could
Um,
check.
They're three
but
and three. Yeah, they're pretty. I think they're bad.
today
Okay.
they beat Tulsa by 3. So now they're 4-3.
Tulsa's in the American, right? They're so
Yes.
forgettable.
Yeah. Okay, their losses, they lost to Austin P by 12. They lost to
Yikes.
Jackson State by 5, and they lost to Mississippi State by 45.
Oh, that's
Jeez. Okay, yeah, we should win by about
Or
50.
no, no, not 45, 35, 35, but still.
yeah,
Okay,
but it was
yeah,
like
we should be
MSU
okay.
put up 90 and they're Chris John's team.
Yeah, no, they put up 101.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
We gotta get
if Chris
110 then.
Jans, yeah, if Chris Jans can score 101 on them, we can score 195 on them.
Yeah. We can flip it to the next subject. Kentucky versus Louisville. Cutter Bowley
Oh,
I
season
don't know.
season start. How are we? I hear a lot of groans. I'm not liking the vibe I'm picking up right now, but how are we feeling about that one?
Really like the way Cutter looked against Texas. I thought that game overall kind of went how the season has went. Like we were there, we had a chance, but we just shot ourselves in the foot,
Yeah,
and ultimately didn't come away with the wins. I feel like we've done that multiple times this season. But to the positive side, Cutter Bowley did look great. He made some very impressive throws. He could read the defense better than I've seen Brock Vandegrift do all year.
yeah.
But yeah, I was impressed with Cutter.
Man, Alex Rayner, he hits almost every kick, but every
Uh,
miss he has, it's disastrous. I mean, he misses at the worst points.
yeah,
It is
he's missed
so
2.
annoying.
Yeah,
He
he's
missed
missed
an
2 in his
extra
career here.
point. Yeah, he missed an extra point that would have easily kept us in the game against Florida. Um, and then if he makes that field goal, we're only down what, one possession or two?
Yeah,
I think maybe.
or
Yeah,
or I think I don't remember,
we
but
would have
yeah,
been we would have been down 7. Yeah,
we definitely just shot ourselves in the foot way too much against Texas. But Louisville, I think it'll be different. They have a good offense, but it's an ACC team. It's different than the SEC. I think we'll
Mm.
get 6 straight with Cutter,
I
but
think we're kicking their ass personally. I
yeah,
don't. I think we're kicking their ass.
Cutter's got something to prove, in my opinion. So
I just what has Louisville done to prove that they're better than us other than their record?
ooh, their schedule is pretty nice.
They
they
lost
won at Clemson by 12. That is pretty
their
impressive.
worst their worst loss is 10 times worse than any of ours.
They
Who
beat
they? Oh,
we won't
Stanford.
beat we don't beat Pitt by
But we don't
four
lose to
scores.
Stanford either. We don't
Four
lose to Stanford.
scores. Pitt.
I just don't see it.
They lost to Stanford and nearly lost to BC. And
How
Louisville,
do you guys? How do you guys think the crowd will be with the 12 o'clock kickoff last game of the season?
it'll be dead.
I don't
I
know.
think
I
it
feel
will.
like the Murray State. There was people at the Murray State game. I feel like there'll be a decent crowd at least there.
there's some diehards now. Like they're
Yeah.
getting out.
I know that tickets aren't too bad for the Louisville
Yeah, I saw
game.
like lower seats for like $35.
There's some
That's
very
that's
diehard fans.
embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Man, it's weird because we obviously need to expire, but
What?
I also can't say that our team is as bad as the record shows because
Yeah,
they're not.
I want Stoops. I want Stoops to like leave on his own, but I'm fine with him getting one more rod with Cutter and
And
Wilcox.
the money.
If
And they're giving him money now.
yeah, if
And
he
dude,
starts
what
Cutter
happens
next
if
year,
And they're supposed to be going to like instead of grabbing like obvious non-starters from other schools, they're getting like the stars from or like the hitting gyms in the smaller schools like Vandy did with Pavia.
yeah,
yeah,
we
what
need to look.
what happens if John Summerall goes to North Carolina though?
Oh god.
The program is cooked.
We got to
I
get them
think.
on the schedule.
Yeah, and kidnap him, make sure he never leaves.
I mean, do you think he would leave North Carolina for us?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I mean,
it
but what if
depends
he's
how
Oh
only
he.
been there
boy.
like okay, what if he's only been there one season? I feel like that would not look good on his track record. Been at Troy for 2 seasons, been at Tulane for 1 season, been at North Carolina for 1 season. I feel
If
like
That's
he
not
goes,
that's
that
a
would have to
good
weigh
thing.
on
He's
him.
upgrading in jobs every time. The ACC is going to fall apart. It's a step up into the SEC.
That is
yeah,
true.
I just I I don't think UNC would be as
SMU is the
easy to
best
take him
football
from.
team.
SMU is a playoff dark horse. I'm saying that now.
They only
They
have
are
what,
good.
one loss?
Mhm.
I think they only have one loss. So yeah. But if Stoops does end up leaving after this year, um, and if like Cutter transfers, whatever, I really like Tulane's quarterback. I can't remember his name, but if
Oh yeah,
John Summerall can bring over that team, I think they can compete in the SEC for sure.
We go through all this trouble about John Sunbraw, and he's just an NFL coordinator after a year here.
he's gonna take the UNC job before we upload the podcast. We're gonna be cooked.
Some foreshadowing going on in here.
I know we're cursing it as we speak. Uh, Man, last I saw, he was a top candidate, which is terrifying me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Where do we go from John Summerall if we don't have Stoops? Who's after that? Brad White.
Brad White. Oh my God.
Brad White, really? I mean, where else do you go?
Give Liam Cohen a call.
I'm okay.
He's
Honestly,
close to
I
getting a head coach. He's getting interviewed for head coaches. I
I
think so
feel
this
like,
offseason.
feel like he'd just leave again. I don't know.
NFL head coaching jobs.
Yeah, he's done
Okay,
great.
yeah,
He'll
he's
get a
not
chance
coming
there
here.
before he comes back to college.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's much
He,
more of an
he
NFL
hate
coach.
yeah, he doesn't like college. You can tell he doesn't like college.
And Stoops never gave him the reins. I mean, never gave him
No.
full control. And I would leave too. Like Stoops is offensively inept in every sense of the word. I just don't understand why you hire an OC and then limit his role when you know how good he is and how proven he is. I feel like I like the idea of keeping Bush.
Yeah, I feel like does get hated on. I mean, I've hated on him myself a little bit, but I think he does get hated on a little too much. If he can cut down on the quarterback draws on 3rd and 20,
Yeah,
I think he'll be fine. But
I think he's serviceable. It's just, I mean, not even just Brock, but where has Barry and Brown been this year? Like where his obviously Chips played 2 quarters of the season. Um, Barely that. Uh, or what? I mean, Hardly Gilmore was supposed to be a part of the offense, I believe, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, broken rib.
The offensive line is, I think they've improved over the year, but they're still pretty ass. Um, I I think we definitely overhyped the talent of this team a little bit.
Oh, that's hard to believe because Dion's gonna be a first round pick.
I don't think
And
he is anymore.
they have Valentine already solid in the NFL, and they have Drew Phillips is already solid.
Oh, Drew,
he's
Drew's
doing
great.
great. He's doing
Yeah.
amazing.
So
Uh,
Jamin
that's a
Davis
good.
was a first round pick. He's cut now, but like
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not work out. But and I
but he's
know
got
Chris
he's
Rodriguez just got
on offense. People are probably overrated, but on defense, I think
defense now.
I
I
think
think the
that's like where
corners
it
have
comes
been
down to
great.
Stoops. That's where it comes down to Stoops. He is a defensive minded coach, and like Steph mentioned, he does not give the offense full reins like the coordinator. So I feel like that really is on Stoops.
It's just I think he doesn't like to be wrong either, and I think that's why we
No,
stuck with Brock for so long. I mean, we obviously were all begging for Wims at one point earlier this season. He did not end up being much better, but yeah, I think we can't afford to wait for Brock and
no,
hope for him to be good next year.
no. It's Cutter's
It's
turn.
Cutter's team. Yeah.
do you think
Maybe
Gavin
one
is back next
Stone.
year?
Do what, Taryn?
Do you think Gavin is back as a backup, or is he going to like Western Kentucky?
I think he's
I don't
transferring
know.
again.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like if I was him, I would transfer. I mean, because he was here to be quarterback too, and now he's been overtaken by QB3. So I think he'll transfer.
And yeah, he never really impressed.
No, but I don't
I
feel like he
think
was
he'll
given
be
too fair of a chance. I feel
no,
like because they just made him run the ball every time. They just knew what he was
but
going to do pretty much.
we also gave him a couple second halves. I mean, Auburn, Vanderbilt, he played both second halves of those games, if I recall, did not do any better than Brock at all. It's I don't understand how you go over 2 in the portal on QB with how many there are,
Yeah.
how many talented quarterbacks on the lower FCS level that are really capable of coming up, and then you choose Brock Vandagriff.
Yeah, Brock was kind of quick. It was early too. I think they did that because they wanted to build with the portal more.
Yeah.
And they missed on Leary too, unfortunately.
It's like quarterbacks just come here to die. I don't know what the
Man,
deal is, but
Terry
Leary
did
feels like
better. Terry did better
Harry was
than
okay.
expectations.
Yeah.
Steven Johnson. I like
Yeah.
My
Steven
favorite quarterback
Johnson.
ever. Yeah. But
But yeah,
Cutter looking all right.
yeah,
Cutter looks
we
fine.
definitely need Cutter. Yeah, I don't want Gavin next year as our quarterback because I mean, how many years he have left? Cutter will only be a sophomore next year, so I mean, he can keep just building and building.
He'll be a redshirt
Um,
freshman.
oh, he'll be okay. Okay, I didn't even think about that. Okay,
He'll
yeah,
yeah, he'll
I
still have his
definitely want
redshirt.
Cutter.
Man,
Yeah.
think we got him. How many more years do we got out of him? 2, 3, 4?
4.
How many do you think he'll play?
Before he gets drafted.
Yeah.
3.
I mean, but you still have Stone behind him unless he
Yeah,
transfers.
that's crazy.
All-time
They got
Pennsylvania
they got
touchdown leader.
they got a second quarterback in this class, Brendan Ward.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard much about him. But I know
But
Stone
no,
is
like
close.
Stone is breaking records in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. He's all-time scoring leader. I think he's up there in all-time yardage too. Um, he's surprisingly mobile.
We
I
could
did not.
we could do two quarterbacks again and like actually have it work
Make
this
it
time
work.
with
Yeah,
Cutter and Stone.
I like that. I'm worried about Stone transferring.
SMU is doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder who we'll bring in next year if we do have Cutter as like a backup to Cutter. I wonder if they'll use Stone or like bring in some backup from a group of five or something like that.
I would like to bring in a quarterback from FCS next year. If we're going to start Cutter, I would have someone ride the bench behind him who has experience and who's not named Brock Vandergriff or Gavin
It
Wimsatt.
could just be yeah, it could just be Gavin. Like if he's fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
I
we do need older quarterback. I mean Bo Allen, he's graduating. I feel like
Oh
we need
gosh,
somebody to be like a
four
mentor, if
star.
that makes sense.
Oh Allen.
Yeah, poor Bo Allen. He never goes transfer. He transferred to somewhere in Texas for you.
Stanford. Yeah.
I don't even know where he went, but he did pretty solid. And no, I think it was Tarleton State is where he went.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was Tarleton State. I
Yeah,
was
he
thinking
did
of
pretty solid. Everything transferred back.
Bro came back and got that degree. I think he was. I was honestly expecting him to be the QB3 over Cutter, but that never happened.
Did I send it? We have a 4 star quarterback that follows us.
Oh no, you did not send that.
Uh, I I looked at an article from Justin Rollins, and I just followed all these young quarterbacks. And Peter Borick followed me back, and he's a 4 star right now. He
That's
still
good
got us
scouting.
on his list.
Yeah, that's top tier scouting. I like that. Definitely having somewhere who's a little bit more higher caliber coming in. I just
Wasn't there
do
supposed
it.
to be this 2027 from Trinity who's elite and likes us?
I wouldn't know, but
No
I'll take
idea.
anybody from.
We have 10 minutes left.
I
Nine.
know.
And a,
We'll start closing up here in a minute.
yeah.
Anybody have any final cliff notes?
Overall, just is about the podcast. I think this one was a lot more organized last time. We still need work, of course. It's only second episode. With time, it'll get better. But I think this one was a lot better.
Yeah.
We haven't ranking 2027 kids yet. What the hell? Oh, never mind. They're just not in Kentucky yet.
Okay, do y'all want to do the Kentucky, Georgia State? We already did Clemson predictions, so we can do Kentucky, Georgia State on Friday, score predictions, and then Kentucky, Louisville, if you guys want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
We'll close up with that. I think you can kick us off with Louisville versus Kentucky. Add a
Me?
player of the game too. Yeah.
Okay, Kentucky versus Louisville. All right, I'm gonna take the Cats. 24 to 20. I don't think Louisville has seen a defense maybe other than Clemson like ours all year. They did score 33, but still, it's different in the SEC. So I got us 24 to 20, and I'm gonna say Cutter Bowley MVP with 2 touchdowns and 220 yards.
Okay. I'm going Kentucky 35-14.
Wow.
Give
Wow.
me give me Jamori Macklin, player of the game, 3 touchdowns.
A 21-point win.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm standing right here on that hill too. I'm not going. I'm not leaving that hill.
Well,
I,
we're gonna lose now. You just definitely jinxed us.
I know we're cooked, but it's fine.
All right,
Let's
Karen,
get
you're up.
let's
31-28 Cats.
okay.
Um, I kind of have the same feeling about like last year, where Louisville was ranked so high, and we were we thought we were still mid still, like, and then like that win revolted, like rejuvenated us, and it would with this fan base again, if not to the same level, but people would get their eyes back on the team at
It
least.
would give you, yeah, it would give you something going on next year for sure. I really wish we had become bowl eligible, obviously, but what's done is done. I think this is definitely a good way to close the season, especially if we do it the way that I think we will. Uh, I think this game is a big chance for Stoops to get a little bit of a longer leash next season to maybe come back.
Yeah, I mean,
And
And
if it
some
I,
of these
was,
players to prove their worth, like Max.
yeah,
and
I
we know what
mean,
happened after the Louisville game last year. Stoops like that, not almost into Texas A&M. It was 1 year and 2 days ago, if I'm correct.
but to say either that happens too, we're fine with either outcome. But
Yeah,
I I think it would also bolster his stock a little bit, which would be good for us.
yeah.
5 and 7 looks a lot better than 4 and 8.
Yeah.
Just it just
I mean,
does.
neither look great, but
But
five and
yeah,
seven definitely is better.
looks a lot better on paper. Uh,
Yeah,
our SEC record though, good God,
one. How did we beat Ole Miss?
we
Yeah.
accidentally beat Ole Miss. We that wasn't part
I,
of the
I,
script.
It was an accident.
I mean, it really
We
was that fumble recovery
Yeah.
in the end zone.
we got lucky so many
So I
times
don't know what
in
the
that
hell
game
just happened. I don't know.
because I think our only like 4 verts deep shot completion this year was in that game to bury on ground on 4th down.
Yep. Yeah, Lane
That
Kiffin said
was
that Stoops tricked him right there.
Yeah, he tricked me.
Lane's been getting tricked by a lot of coaches this year, for being honest. Uh,
It's like
man,
Kenny Payne. Didn't he say that Mike Woodson tricked him or something last year?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they just got pretty embarrassed by Florida, but not to mention, I mean, Florida's a pretty decent team. I think they've changed a lot of the narratives about them. They're
Mhm.
good. I wish we had beat them though. We definitely could have. They
Yeah.
really ran that score up at the end.
Yeah. Do y'all want to end on a positive note with basketball
What do you mean,
against
Mark
Georgia
Stoops is
State?
not positive? You talk about 5 and 7 football. What do you mean not positive? What are you thinking? Georgia State predictions.
Okay. Georgia State let or Mississippi State score 101 points on them. So I think we're going to score 110. I'm going to say Kentucky 110 to 64. I think it's going to be like another similar to
Okay.
Jackson State. Georgia State's better, but I think
Mm.
it's going to be similar to that game. And I'm going to say Kobe Brea. I think he has a bounce back game. He still shot fine. I think he shot 3 for 7. But for him,
Hmm.
this year, that's not great. But I mean, that is great compared to normal college basketball. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'll bounce back um, with a good old 25-point game. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my prediction.
I'm thinking 105-57 Cats. I think Jackson Robinson player of the game. Give me J Rob player of the game. He has his best game of the year. I think he goes for 30, maybe, but something in that ballpark for sure. Karen, what do you think? Oh,
I'm thinking 109 to 70, I think, or 109 to 65.
Who's your MVP?
I got Brea.
Oh, taken from Kentucky
Gonna
court.
have a Kellen Grady high point game.
Kentucky bias
Oh
beef
yeah.
starting on podcast
Yeah.
4K. But yeah, I
Tell
think
him why it is.
that's a good closer for episode 2. Make sure we all hate each other before we get off. Uh, no, but I think we did great this episode. Definitely carries the conversation a lot better. But
Yeah.
I think that'll do all for our second episode of the Kentucky Bias podcast. I'm pretty sure I'll release this on Friday or Saturday. Uh, should be all good. I already have the first half saved, so I'll get this edited and up. But that'll be all from the Kentucky Bias
No.
podcast. Seth, Trip, and Taryn out.